Welcome everyone to the World Transformation Movement. My name is Tim Macartney-Snape and I'd like to introduce you to my very close friend and fellow patron of the World Transformation Movement, Jeremy Griffith. Jeremy is an Australian biologist and author of many books and publications about the human condition. Because the issue of the human condition has been such a hostile realm, I think it will help everyone to know something of Jeremy's background and the initiatives that he was predominantly involved in that led to the establishment of the World Transformation Movement. So while I'm known for climbing mountains, Jeremy's renown is for scaling far more difficult terrain, and in truth, treacherous terrain, that of the mountains of the mind. Jeremy was born in 1945 and raised on a sheep station in New South Wales. He and I were both beneficiaries of the soul rather than intellect cultivating Platonic education system established by Australia's greatest educator, Sir James Darling, at Geelong Grammar School in Victoria. Jeremy played a lot of rugby union football in his earlier days, making the trials for the national side, the Wallabies, in 1967 before completing his biology degree at Sydney University in 1971. Over a 6-year period, in the late 1960s and early 70s, Jeremy also undertook the most thorough search ever conducted for the now believed extinct Tasmanian tiger, the extraordinary marsupial equivalent of the wolf. Its jaws are capable of this incredible gape. This is some rare black and white footage of Benjamin, the last known living tiger who died in Tasmania's Hobart Zoo in 1936. With nothing but his own enthusiasm, initiative and ingenuity to begin with, as these photos illustrate, Jeremy tried to rediscover and save the tiger from extinction. In time, his efforts began to draw a lot of support, such as from Bob Brown, who's in this photo here. Bob, of course, went on to found and lead the Green Movement in Australia. And in the end, a complete search for the Tasmanian tiger was carried out by Jeremy very, very thoroughly. And in 1972, the American Museum of Natural History's publication, Natural History, published a story written by Jeremy about his search for the tiger. And in 1973, an episode of the well-known Big Country television series was shown about Jeremy's adventures in Tasmania looking for the tiger. And then in 1973, after sadly concluding that the tiger was indeed extinct, Jeremy began manufacturing furniture to his own natural designs. Not only was it Jeremy's ideas about the human condition that first attracted me, it was also the simplicity and remarkable ingenuity of his furniture. In fact, all the furniture in this studio is from Jeremy's Griffith tablecraft furniture business. And when Jeremy sold his interest in the business in 1991, it had a staff of some 45 people, and his extraordinary pole-framed complex workshop was one of the major tourist attractions on the north coast of New South Wales. Jeremy began writing about the human condition in 1975 and has continued his practice of writing about the subject, which he does in the early hours of the morning, to the present, which is late 2009. And this means there are some 35 years of intense work behind the ideas that Jeremy is going to present. In 1983, Jeremy established the Centre for Humanity's Adulthood for the study of the human condition. Then in 1991, the centre was incorporated as the Foundation for Humanity's Adulthood, FHA. The purpose of the FHA, as stated in the Memorandum of Association, is to bring forward understanding of the human condition and through that ameliorating that condition. While the FHA has many supporters, it has a core group of long-standing members, numbering some 50. And they support the activities of FHA on a daily basis. Despite the resistance our work has encountered because of its extremely confronting nature, it is, as I said, the all-important issue that had to be addressed and explained for there to be a future for the human race. As St. Lawrence Vanderpost, who has been the greatest influence in Jeremy's work, once said, there's St. Lawrence. Jeremy and I actually visited him in London in 1993, shortly before he died. But as he once said, we really know nothing about the nature of man. Unless we hurry to get to know ourselves, we are in dangerous trouble. And the purpose of the Foundation for Humanity's Adulthood has been to lay the foundations for a human condition reconciled new world for the human race. Basically, to endure the inevitable initial onslaught of resistance to having this subject of the human condition opened up. And with that stage now completed, after some extremely harrowing experiences, it becomes appropriate to take understanding of the human condition to the next stage of actually ameliorating or healing that condition. And for this next stage, we have formed a new organisation called the World Transformation Movement. And as Jeremy will explain, the human condition, this issue of good and evil in our human makeup, has long seemed inexplicable. How can we make sense of the bewildering confusion of paradoxes in our human makeup or condition, especially that question of good and evil? Oh, Jeremy, before you start, I think it'd be a good idea to show people the simplicity and originality and freshness of your design, just to give people an insight into the way you think.
Well, it all dismantles. Do you want me to dismantle the chair?
Yeah, why not?
It's
interesting.
This is one of the. This is a carver chair because it's got armrests, and it's all designed so we take the best slab to make the tabletop, and we progressively slice it up into multiples of this thickness. So that's a single thickness, and that's a double thickness. On the sides of the lounge is triple thickness, and so forth. So everything's multiples. It's very simple. There's no curves, carving, moulding or turning. There's no glue. It's all dry jointed and simply put together with pegs. So this just slides off, and it all comes apart. So you can, if you just take. So all that comes apart, and then this comes apart. The back slides off it like that. And these are just slats on, and it's held together by what we call a Spanish windlass, which is a twitch rope, which is very powerful, and that holds the whole frame together. So then it all just packs up into these squares, which are just very simple. And so that's how, and so that's a carver chair. Tony, if you just stand up. So this is a side chair, which is even simpler. So I mean, the chair's the hardest part in a range of furniture to design, but we made bookcases. There's a small one there, tables. We made all those sorts of the full range of furniture, all based on this simple idea of dry joints and straight and simple. Anyway, does that make sense to me? I have to put together again. Anyway, I should say that trying to save a threatened species, well, tragically extinct one, and trying to build a range of furniture that was simple and free of escapist, materialist ornamentation and embellishment was all very well, but I came to realise there's a much, much deeper and far more serious issue and problem to address in the world, and that is, why are we humans so destructive and needing such escapist, materialistic embellishment in our lives? So, I mean, these are some very profound and serious questions that we're going to be dealing with next. So I'll just put it back together.